Hello everyone, welcome to your garden video for the week. Today we're going to be talking about decomposition. So, have you ever looked around you and wondered, how is soil made? Or wondered, are all the leaves or branches or animals or food or people that have existed throughout the long periods of time in the world? Where are the animals that existed 100 years ago? Where are the leaves that fell last fall? Where are all these things? Well, the answer is decomposition. They've all decomposed to create soil and earth. So decomposition is the process of breaking down, rotting, or decay. So let's give an example. If you were to take an apple, let's say the apple didn't taste very good, it was kind of yucky, or you dropped it in the mud so you couldn't eat it, some really good reason why you couldn't eat it, and you put it outside in your front yard, or you threw it in our compost pile at the garden. And day 1 it looks like an apple, day 2 it looks like an apple, day 3, day 4, day 5 it looks like an apple. But day 6 and 7, it looks a little different. It's really brown and it's maybe a shriveled different shape and it's maybe got some mold on it. And then you come back 2 weeks later and you can't even find the apple. Where's the apple? I can't find my apple. Well, decomposition, rotting, decay, the breaking down of that apple has occurred. So all the leaves that fell last fall, the animal that was alive 100 years ago, when it passed away or when the leaves fall or the branches fall, they don't just stay there forever. We would be drowning in piles of leaves and branches and dead squirrels. Instead, they break down to create soil to give back to the earth, right? Composting and decomposition are really one and the same. So I'm going to show you our compost pile in just a second, but let's talk really quickly about the places that we see decomposition happening. So you could see decomposition happening pretty much anywhere. You could see it in a bowl of fruit in your kitchen, right? The day before you grabbed an apple from that bowl and you were chomping on it and it was delicious, and then you came back the next day and grabbed another apple from that same bowl just one day later, but that apple now has mold on it. Well, that apple has started to rot, decay, decompose, right? It's breaking down. It's not going to be this beautiful red apple anymore. It's going to be turning into this kind of brown mushy mess, right? So that's one place you can see it. You can go into your fridge, right? Oh, we got this beautiful spinach bunch, and then 2 minutes later the spinach bunch is wilty and decomposing, because that's what happens with spinach apparently. But you see this once beautiful vibrant vegetable just a few days later is wilty and maybe it's stinky and it's slimy. Well, it is breaking down and decomposing. So that's your home. You might even see, a squirrel. You find a dead squirrel in your front yard. It is going to decompose. You're not going to see that dead squirrel 2 months from now. So there are a couple of different ways to notice decomposition, right? You can notice it by mold or rot, right? You smell it. It smells stinky. It probably smells really sour or almost makes you want to throw up. You can see it with the fuzzy white or blue or green mold on it. Sometimes it's black mold, right? You can see things moldy. You can't really hear it unless you've got like a big hearing cone and you can hear the movement of the critters. But another way you can see it is by seeing just the day-to-day breaking down of it, or you can see the helpers of decomposition in action. So I mentioned mold. Mold is actually a type of fungus or fungi, and we'll probably talk about that in the next few coming weeks. But fungus is one of the main players in the game of decomposition, right? Fungus is mold. It's going to be breaking all the things down, turning them into soil. You're also going to have bacteria. Now, bacteria you cannot see with your naked eye. You can see it under microscopes, but bacteria are also going to be sitting there breaking all the stuff down. You can see a couple of the decomposition team players with our own eye, and we can see them in the compost pile, especially at the school. We've got things like sow bugs, pill bugs, we've got pincher bugs, ants, slugs even, roly-poly, oh, I just said roly-polies, those are the, let's see, what else do we have? Sometimes like little birds or other little small mice maybe come in and eat little few things. You're going to be seeing, oh, and worms, of course, right? Those are going to be the things you see in your compost pile. They're going to be breaking down your waste, basically. So let's take a peek into the compost pile and see if we can find anything that looks like that we can maybe identify, that we can see is breaking down, is turning into soil, is decaying, is decomposing, but we can still tell what it is. We are in the compost pile, and I found a couple of good things. So the first is this. Take a second to see if you can figure out what on earth this is. If you guessed banana peel, you are correct. So banana peel, does that even look like a banana peel anymore? No, banana peels are yellow, of course, but over time, they shrivel, they lose their color, they lose their water. This is very brittle, right? You can break it apart very easily. And over time, this, you won't even be able to tell, this will turn into soil. Now something like a banana peel though, because it's very thick, will take a long time to decompose. Just like this guy here. Now this one, can you guys tell what this is? So this is an avocado peel. Avocado peels are also something that are thick and take a long time to break down. But this, my best guess, has been sitting here for maybe 6 months and still looks like this. So some things take a while. Let's see what else we can find. Oh, wow, okay. We can all tell what this is. This is an eggshell, right? Eggshells, again, nice and thick, gonna take a long time to break down. Now, I haven't been really digging in this compost pile much this summer because I was working in the butterfly garden, but I'm going to use this stick to see what we can find. If there's anything that, oh wow. All right, let's get you close to this. Here are our decomposition friends. Look at all those sow bugs. Can't even believe. And there's tons of ants here. So all of these guys are going to be helping us break down the food in our compost pile. Now, the world isn't a compost pile in that it is taken care of all the time. So in our compost pile, I turn it and we have lots of critters, but I wouldn't put, if I found like a dead animal, I wouldn't put it in the compost pile. And certain things like worms and sow bugs aren't going to do the majority of the breakdown for dead animals. That's going to be more like fly larvae. So I'm actually going to go take you to a dead, a rat that I found to show you how that is decomposing. You can see here, let's give you a couple more seconds of looking here, but look at all this. This is all soil. I didn't put soil in here, I put food in here. But you can see all this soil that these little friends are helping us make. Wow, there's so many. Oh my gosh. So right here is a dead, right there, is a dead rat. So there's its body and then its big tail goes off that direction. So this rat, there's flies on it. What the flies are doing, they are eating a bit, but what they're primarily going to do in decomposition is lay their eggs inside the carcass. So I'm gonna go to my face. Those of you who don't want to see that don't have to. But basically, the flies are gonna lay their eggs inside the rat carcass, the rat body. And what they're gonna do, the eggs will hatch, the little larva will come out, and the larvae are going to be the primary decomposers. They're going to break that old body down and turn it into soil, right? Through their poop, they're going to process it in their bodies and turn it into a waste product that will eventually fertilize the soil and make the soil healthier, which is really cool. So while it is sometimes sad to see, you know, a beautiful apple one day and then the next day it's rotting and have to, you know, dispose of it, or to see an animal that is breaking down, or even in the garden, sometimes I have plants that I've worked so hard to grow and then suddenly they're dead and I have to watch them decompose. I know that even though it is sad, it's something so incredibly beautiful, because it's turning the old into this new energy and new life in the soil for new things to grow. So it's this beautiful cycle of birth, death, and then rebirth in the soil. So decomposition is a beautiful opportunity for the world to renew itself all the time. I challenge you to go out if you can, and if you can't, just probably hop in your fridge and look and see what you can find. What things are decomposing? How are they decomposing? Are they decomposing if they're an animal with flies? Are they decomposing just by getting, you know, sun and rain or water on them? Are they decomposing in a compost kind of situation with insects that are going to actually be physically breaking them down? Or are they just sitting in your fridge and collecting mold and bacteria? You know, it's so interesting that you can see all the different kinds and you can see it everywhere. So I challenge you to go find it. And if you can, tell your teachers how you saw decomposition happening, or if it's this is posted in a Google Classroom, comment down below to tell me how you're seeing decomposition happening all around you. Thanks so much.